money they were raised before, there was definitely an element of, okay, you guys have a rather impressive tech, right? It looks nice. We've looked under the hood. It checks out, very solid. And we see the drive in the CEO. So there is a potential. Okay. It's not like we raised humongous amounts of money, so the stakes for our investors were probably not that high. So they pulled the trigger relatively, let's say super easily, but relatively easily. So in our case, an MVP and a prototype and product, generally speaking, did play. But also I'd say investors at that time realized that, okay, other VCs or other angel investors all started to have their podcast related companies in their portfolios. And there was a little bit of an internal FOMO. So the timing was rather good for that as well. If someone would invest in something like Riverside or Anchor at that point, Spotify purchased Anchor, which was a podcast hosting and recording platform as well. Some people were transcribing podcasts. Some people were creating platforms for cross advertisement and so on. So it was a bit of we surfed a little bit on that wave, and that was important for investors as well. I guess tech plus that wave, plus they see a little bit of a drive from the founders, and they see that we have a relatively solid bunch of data that we collected, a relatively solid roster of podcasts that we got either individually or through podcast networks. And we also closed a few deals as well with those networks. They were worth with what it was worth, but for the size of the operations, I guess it was sufficient for an investor to pour in the kind of money they weren't really super duper afraid to lose. If I can allow myself to deviate a little bit from the question and just talk about MVPs generally speaking, because throughout the years, my experience in the startup ecosystem, I actually saw a few instances where who's looking this again, agile startup, lean startup, Eric Ries, right? This whole super duper lean, almost napkin sketch kind of MVP was actually there, and people were buying it. For example, one of the companies, when I was still in the accelerator with my then to be co-founder, their MVP was a WhatsApp chat group. And let me tell you, they'd made in a week more than we made in a few months, in the first half a year. That is what you call traction. You know that people want it and they don't care if it's just a WhatsApp group. I know for a fact that many businesses that have been pitched essentially can boil down to a WhatsApp page. People say, well, we need to build a platform where people will meet other people. Well, actually, no. You can just create a Telegram group or a Facebook page and test your idea. It would actually even be much more efficient, because what you want to do is you don't want SEO. You don't want to pull people into your platform. You want to actually go to the platform where people congregate. If you want to become an influencer, you don't build a new YouTube and you don't become its first star. You go to YouTube or you go to Apple Podcasts and so on. No, it's the same thing here as well. Other instances of businesses that I was involved in where the tech was, well, let's be honest, it's completely substandard, very substandard. But people wanted it so bad that they were calling sales reps asking them, when will this feature be ready? I need it yesterday, right? And behind the curtains, you'll have people just sending emails, working with Excel, I don't know, almost writing snail mail and sending it. But the company would be the facade of the company would be like, oh my God, everybody wants this thing. So this is traction. This is the kind of prototype, the kind of MVP I'm talking about. It could be nothing more than an Excel sheet. Your company could be an Excel sheet. And in fact, many companies that I see selling on platforms such as Acquire are just that. Either they are Excel sheets, or they are Facebook pages or their equivalents, or they are some sort of a ChatGPT API call. These companies are businesses that actually generate money. And so I think, as much as I like building, having seen what traction is without any kind of product, now I understand what Eric Ries means when he says MVP.